What's up, everybody? This video is for anybody with a 2015 to 2020 Suburban or Tahoe that want to install their own underglow. I'll walk you through what I did to do mine. I also want to give a shout out to my boy Daniel Garside from Glowe Industries. He runs like the little LED department over there. He helped me out a lot. He the one that told me I should try doing it myself versus paying somebody, because it would have cost me about $400 to let somebody do it when I could just try it myself like he said. So shouts out to him. And also shout out to the guy who owns Next Level Neo. He's the one I got my Blue Ghost controller from. It's actually the Blue Ghost it's the Pro Blue Ghost controller. So it's waterproof, and he did all this other stuff to it, add some wires to it for me. It's on his website. I'll link it in the description. So I went with the Glowe Industries Underglow kit. I'll put their website in my description. I got a strip on each side, a strip in all four wheel wells, strip on the front, and then a strip on the back. And before you get started, you want to have some good old zip ties, some aluminum rail to put the strips in, and then you want to have a T15 and a 10 millimeter if you do the wheel well, to take all the bolts out of the wheel well. And the first thing I did was measure the sides right here where the running board is. Most people do like 70 or 72. I measured 78 from end to end, so mine to be long enough. So that's what I went with. And then on the front, I think I have two 24 inches on here, and it's in one aluminum rail like this. So it's like 24 on one half and then 24 on the other half. I think I cut it out to like 55, and I got one aluminum rail under there versus having two. And then in the back, I did an 18 and a 12. They're in different aluminum rails. I'll show you when I get under it, though. All right, so what I did was I got under here like this. Well, this is how it looks. Oh, I forgot to mention, so I forgot to mention I bought an aluminum rail at Lowe's, like 36 inches, and I cut it out. And if you have running boards, this will be a lot easier. You could just take the bolt from the running board right here, take it out, drill a hole bigger than the actual bolt, and it'll hold the piece of aluminum up there. Then I self-tap the aluminum rail to the piece of aluminum, and it held it up there. Then I zip tied the strip to it all the way up and down it, as you can see. But yeah, that's really all I did right here. So I think I had this piece, and then there's a piece right there. So 3 pieces holding this whole strip, and there's plenty of zip ties, so if the tape fails, it'll still hang on there. And then with the wheel well, it comes down from here. I gotta tuck that wire up in there some more. But I took all of this out. This can be pretty time consuming, I'm not gonna lie. But I took all of these screws out of the front, and then I drilled some holes. I drilled a big hole right here for the end of the wire to go in, and I did the same thing on this side. And then I drilled 2 small holes on each side for the zip tie to go through, and I held it up there, stuck the zip tie through, pulled it in to see how it would line up, and then that's how I did that. And I kept the tape on there. Well, the tape is still covered because it's not gonna stick to this. This isn't, I'm not sure what this material is, but it's not gonna stick to it. So zip ties holding that in there. I put all the screws and stuff back in. It's a good 20 in the front versus the back. The back is way easier than the front. But I did all of that, put them back in, and you also want to make sure you line it up, because if it's over too far, you'll be able to see it, like think about here and about here. And when somebody's driving beside you, especially if it's lifted, you'll be able to see it real easy. And I also forgot to mention the strips. They came with I think they're called extenders. So it'll connect the strip down here, then it'll connect to this strip up here, and all the extra wire I just hid behind here. It does it for each side. I did it for right here as well. And then on the front, what I was talking about was come down here, see, it's 124 and on the right side, and then it's a 24 on the left side. It ain't perfect, but it's holding up there and it works. Oh, I need to cut that zip tie. But drill some holes right in here and tied a couple zip ties around it to hold it up. And it's not the best, but it's about all you can do for what's here, because there's literally nothing else to stick these strips to. So I had to make something out of nothing. But it goes from that side all the way to this side, and I've done the same exact thing right there. And then on that end, the connector goes up into the top of the wheel well. With this left side is exactly the same as the right side, so I'm not even gonna waste y'all time showing y'all what to do. You do every step I showed you on the other side, you do on this side. And then the back, I didn't show y'all the back on that side. Is pretty simple, same concept. Got the strip, the zip ties, and like I said, it's less screws back here. I think it's maybe 10. Yeah, about 10 back here versus the front, it's at least 15 to 20. But I'm not gonna lie, doing this, the back was kind of hard. It was probably the hardest part because there's nothing really to hang the strips to, because I already got some stuff back here, and I have dual exhaust on each side, so it was like tough. And I got this tank for my train horn, so yeah. But what I had to do was I made somewhere for it to hang. Zip tied it around this little spot right here, made sure it was safe and wouldn't come loose. It's pretty sturdy. And then I drilled a hole here, zip tied that to the aluminum rail, and zip tied the rail, the strip in the rail, to that piece. So this holds up. It's actually way more sturdy than I thought it would be. And then that wire connects to the wheel well, of course. But then right here, just zip tied all of this to that. Really, it's a little looser than I wanted it to be, but it works. And I don't have to connect this to anything, so I wasn't too worried about that. But the other side, hold on, let me see. Yeah, this side was a little harder, because this is where I got the stuff for my train horn. So I used the hole that was already there, zip tied it so it wouldn't move, and that's pretty sturdy. I don't know how it worked, you can see, but it works. See, that hole stuck it under here. This is to drain my train horn, so I had to went under that. Really, there was nowhere else to put it. Then I drilled a hole here to keep the wire in a little bit, zip tied it to this surface here, and then I made another spot for this strip to hang. Then I zip tied it to that piece again. This is sturdy as it's gonna get, to be honest. But this is a 12-inch and this is an 18-inch on each side. And then up in there, the strip connects to the other piece and it goes into the wheel well. And I want to add, most people would put the strip along this back piece, but it's really not wide enough, and if I was driving, you would be able to see the extra strip in the lights. And then this exhaust tip would block some of the output, so I didn't want to put it there. And as you can see, there's literally nowhere else to try to hang it besides where I put it. And then same thing for these strips. If I was to put these along here, you'll be able to see the light while I'm driving. Because how I did it, when I come up here, you can't even see the strip. or you can barely see the aluminum rail because it's black, but that's how I wanted it. So, and for the strip, all I did was, this is literally all I did. Stick it in there like this. Took the tape off for the pieces that I wanted it to stick to, but really, all the pieces with the rail got the tape, and I took the tape off, and then I still zip tied it. But that's all I did to the rail. And then as far as the controller, I use a Glowe controller, and I'm glad I did. Actually, I'll show you. I use a Glowe controller, and I got it. Hey, don't mind my wiring. I gotta find somewhere else for this thing to go. But right now, I put it in right here beside the battery. I gotta zip tie some more stuff right there. But I got it wired into my turn signals and my daytime running lights. So whenever my DRLs come on, that's when my underglow comes on by itself. So I don't have to physically turn it on. Well, not my daytime running light part. If I wanted to do like a show, I would have to go in the app and click that. But as far as the park lights, anytime this comes on, mine come on. So I kind of like that. And then also for the turn signals, what I did was, for one, I tapped into the fuse box right here. This is for my turn signal. This one right here, that's my turn signal. This one goes to, this one is a turn signal and this one is a turn signal. I gotta figure out how to get another fuse tap in there because they're right beside each other, but 2 fuse taps won't fit. But yeah, it's working. And then for the DRL, I had to come down here and use a T-tap. So I T-tapped the white wire, that's my DRL wire, and that's how I did that. All right, yo, so this is a video for later in the night so y'all can see the lights. But like I was saying earlier, I got the Glowe controller. One of the things I like about it the most is the startup animations that it has. So whenever you start the car, you can have different colors for the park lights and a different animation. And I'm gonna show y'all what I mean. That right there, that's just one of the startup animations. Saying about the underglow is when I turn off my lights, the underglow cuts off and it does that scan effect, and then when I turn my lights back on, underglow comes on and does that scan effect. And I also have it connected to my turn signal, so when my left turn signal comes on, it does that, and it also does it for the right. But I'm gonna see if I can show you the whole side. Left side isn't doing anything, of course, because that one isn't on. But yeah, but with the Glowe controller, you pull up the app, you pair it. Some of them you can type in the code so other people can't get in and change the lights. But this is what I was referring to with the park lights. See, right now the park lights, they're blue. I'll turn up the brightness a little bit. Change that to red. Green, yellow, and now the white. The white is actually pretty decent, but I like the pink or the blue. And then this is the turn signal color. This is why my turn signals, they were pink. I usually have that up pretty bright so everybody can see it when I'm putting my turn signal on at night. On my park light, I usually have it about there. It's still pretty bright. I was referring to earlier about the back, see, still pretty good output. can see everything pretty good under here. Of course, the wheel wells, the side. And for me, I wish the front was a little brighter, but I feel like that's pretty good coverage. And then as far as this app, there's so much stuff you could do with it. I haven't had time to play with it all, but usually I'll click this one and it'll cycle through pretty much all the colors you have right here. So it'll cycle through these 6 colors. You can either take some off, change them, or whatever. This is the brightness for the whole show, and this is the speed, and this is the length that you want it to do. I believe if I take this one down, it won't do the complete length of the car. So I usually have that one up. I haven't tried to change it and mess with it. And then I have that one. That one's alright. I don't really use that one too much. It's just something different, I guess. And I got a little police light show. Got that on strobe. And then I got one with some solid colors that just alternates. But 9 times out of 10, I'm riding like, well, it does this a lot too. It'll disconnect for some reason. Honestly, not even sure why it does it. But 9 times out of 10, I'm riding with this first show right here, or just my park lights. And also that little scan effect that was at the beginning, that was the scan suite. You could change it to some good other options up here. I don't really like the other ones besides Rainbow Road. The other ones, they're pretty boring if you ask me. So I either do scan sweep or nothing, or well, scan sweep or Rainbow Road, or I just have it off. And then there's a brake signal function as well. I haven't tapped into that wire yet, so I got that off. And then with the turn signal, you can have it on wave, basic, sequence, bounce, bubble, or rollout. I like the wave or the bounce, but yeah, I just usually leave mine on wave, call it a day. But yeah, man, with this controllers right here, this controls all of this for the left turn signal, and all of this for the right turn signal. I actually hooked mine up backwards, so I'm on my right turn signal, but I got my left side blinking when the right comes on, since they're hooked up backwards, and then on the left side I did the opposite. And I'm glad you could do that, because when I originally hooked it up, I turned my left signal on and my right side came on, and I didn't know what to do. So thankfully that's a feature in here that was actually pretty smart. But other than that, that's all I really know how to do with this controller, man. And I did want to show y'all that the turn signal works while you have the little show on. So I'm gonna turn the right one on, and I'm gonna come back here. So that side is still doing the show, and this side is doing the blinking for the turn signal. Kinda like it. But yeah, man, anybody got any questions for anything I feel like I didn't answer, just comment and I'll try to help as best as I can.